In this lesson, we're going to retopo the trigger guard. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on retopoing the trigger guard. We're going to go to PolyDraw Extend, and let's come in and let's grab this edge right here. I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm just going to pull it out, and I'm going to continue pulling it out, just tracing around the edge of the trigger. Now you can drag out a few edges like this, like you see me doing here, and then I'm going to go back and hold down Control, Shift, and Alt and grab the vertices of that and just kind of redistribute that. What I'm doing is I'm just pulling that around so that way that the flow of the polygons follows along with the shape of the trigger guard. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing here. I'm going to hold down Alt, pull that out. Okay, and then we'll take this. Let's hold down Alt and pull that out. I didn't think that was going to work, but I was going to try it anyway. And let's see. You hold down Alt, pull this one. There we go. There's that. And then let's do hold down Alt, pull this one. Pull that one around there. Now again, if you hold down Alt and you pull out those polygons, it's going to look like they go inside of the high poly mesh. That may happen, so what you'll have to do is go ahead and hold down Control, Alt, Shift and grab the vertices, and that'll allow it to offset off the surface of that again. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this guy here, let's pull that down, and then we're going to go ahead and start with this one, pull that up, and then continue on, and we're going to go all the way to the edge of this piece here. Alright, and so now what I'll do is I'll hold down Alt, drag out these polygons, and then Control Alt, left click and drag to those polygons there, and there we go. You may have to take these points again and just kind of hold down Control Alt Shift and just kind of move them around so that way they snap to that surface. Alright, very good. And then let's see, let's hold down Shift, let's drag that up to this point here, and then I'm just going to start figuring out how I'm going to put all of these together. Let's hold Shift, and let's do Alt, pull that one up to here, and then the same thing with this one, and then hold down Alt on that one, there we go, and then Control Alt across there. Alright. So making pretty good progress on this. You know, it's not too bad. I am going to go ahead and remove that edge right there. Hold down Control, left click on that, and then let's hold down Control Shift, left click and drag this edge here. And that'll give us that small little edge that we need to capture that corner. Okay. Now you don't have to use polygons like this. You don't have to, like along hard edges like this, you don't have to create this extra supporting geometry. But sometimes I find that my bakes work a little bit better if I have that supporting geometry in there. So technically what I could do is actually take these vertices and weld that into a triangle and then just have no supporting edge like that there. But sometimes you'll find that's an easier bake and it looks a little bit better. Alright, now let's go ahead and hold down Shift and Control on this one. Let's pull that out. And we'll go to this point here. And, you know, actually let's hit Control Z one time. Let's hold down Alt. Let's see if we can get that polygon to come out. Hold Alt, drag off of that edge. Control Alt. That's not coming out, is it? Okay. Let's try it anyway. Let's do something different. Let's do Shift Control, pull that out to there. Shift Control again, pull it out to here. And then we need to go in and weld these points. So right click, target weld, from here to there. Same thing here. May have to select around those vertices there, and then right click and weld. And let's make sure that we have everything set here. Let's isolate that. I think I might have a problem here. Yep, I do. Right click, target weld from here down to here. Alright, great. Now let's turn off isolation mode. There we go. Looks good. Let's go back to Extend. Hold Shift, Control, and Alt. Just kind of pull those vertices back into position there. There we go. All right, very good. Let's take that edge right here, and let's make sure that it is properly set. Looks like we may actually have a couple of vertices. Oh, we're good. Okay. Hold Control, double click on that edge there. That should go to there. And then double click on this edge here and double click on this edge. Let's make sure those are all in line with one another. So let's go ahead and just say make planar in the Z direction, and then let's set their value to 0. Now for some reason I can't get the move tool value to come up there. Let's try that one more time. I'm not sure why we can't see that value. Alright, let's shift everything over. Let's hold down Control and go to vertex mode, and then let's type in 0 here. There we go. So now we've got that all set up. We've got that. Let's go ahead and finish the trigger guard here. So let's go to vertex mode just so I can see my vertices, and then polydraw extend. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and just drag these points out. Let's go to our left view just so we can see this a little bit better. On little areas like this, you're going to have to rely quite a bit on the moving vertices points. So you're going to hold down Shift, maybe drag it out just a little bit, and then move the points where you want them to be. That's probably going to be your best bet. You might get as far as you can, and then try it again. Looks like I want to come up just a little bit more there. Okay. And we'll go all the way around here. Just like that. And it looks like we got a little bit too sharp of a corner right there. I want to go ahead and bring that back up. And then one more here. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold down Control Alt and then bridge to that. Alright, so that looks great. Alright, next thing that we need to do is go ahead and build out the interior of that. And so I'm actually going to start right up here. I'm going to hold down Shift and pull that down. And we'll do that a couple of times. I'm going to go out here to the middle as close as I can to the center there. May not be exact or anything like that, but we want to get it pretty close. And then hold down Alt, drag off of that edge, and you can just start doing that all the way down here and start to get a pretty good result. Okay. Hold down Alt and Control, try to drag those vertex points. If you can't see them, sometimes you may have to try hitting F3 to go to wireframe with that. Okay. And let's go all the way down the edge here, but we need to make sure we're holding down Alt, dragging off of those. Sometimes, you may have to just change that angle. We're starting to get into some areas that are a little bit tighter. So we want this information to be here, but we don't want to sit here and make a ton of tiny little polygons that aren't really going to matter on our game resolution mesh. So let's go ahead and continue holding down Alt. We'll try that one more time. You want to make sure that whenever you pull that off, hold down Alt and left click closest to the vertex that you want that to come off of. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you may have to try just a different angle. And then remember to hold down Control Alt Shift to pull that vertex so that way it snaps close to the surface there. So hold Alt, change the angle on that a little bit. And on that one, I'm just not sure where that's coming from. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually just going to hold down Shift. I'll pull that out and then try it again from here. Let's go ahead and target weld those 2 points before we forget, or just weld them. Go back to Extend. Okay. Hold Alt, drag that out, and again, that one's giving me a little bit of problem there. It just doesn't like that one. There we go. Now we're getting it. Go from here to there. So I really enjoy this part of it because I get to really control what that topology looks like. And I don't know about you guys, but as a modeler, if I can make really pretty topology and it, makes the model work, I feel accomplished in that. So pull that one out there. And just try to move these points around a little bit. And then one more right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave that just the way it is because that's going to also start building into the handle. Alright, so now all we have to do now is take this edge right here and pull that out. So hold down Control and Shift, left click and drag that out to the center. And then with all of those vertices selected, let's right click one time. Let's deselect that one. With all those vertices selected, we can go ahead and make planar in the X, or in this case the Z, and then set that to 0. And then take these 2 points and weld those. Make sure their X value is still set to 0. And then we now have that part of the trigger guard underneath. And then now all we have to do is go to border mode, select this border right here, hold Shift, drag that out to the center, and set its X value to 0. And there we have the middle of that trigger there. And all we have to do now is just come in with our Extend tool, and we can actually just grab those points on the inside, and we could just start to move those around, get those to snap to the surface a little bit closer. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to move on into our next lesson. I want you to go ahead and finish that in between lessons there. But in our next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start building out the handle. Okay, so I'll get on to that next.